Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode. I figured I'd start shooting from the garage and not worrying as much about getting everything perfect because I've been missing out on giving you guys quite a bit of content that I've recorded and the information just got stale over time. So in an effort to get things out a little bit faster, we're not going to try to have everything perfect. We're just going to make sure we get you quality content. And in an effort to do so, as I promised you guys, I would start doing cheaper alternatives, especially being in a rental. Here's the first step in that direction. So I needed a new vacuum because my Roomba is just, man, it's one of the original ones. So there's a lot of features I'm missing. So I went on Amazon and literally looked for one of the cheapest options I could find that also had a mop like feature with it. Usually like the iRobot versions, the UFEs, they all are about like 500 to 1,000, even up to $1,500. This guy was $200 and I think it was like 160 on sale with the, Amazon coupons that they throw in. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox it, see how it works, see if it's actually worth that price point. In the end, I would assume it would be because this is just something to get us through the transition. This could be something you'd have in an apartment. You're not worried about it falling down the stairs and cracking. If you get 6 to 9 months out of it, maybe even a year, great. And maybe we'll do a follow-up video, 3 months, 6 months, to see if it's still ticking, see if we've had any issues. But I figured for $200, it was worth the investment for you guys just to see how this thing worked out and if it could work for us. Especially with me now having a terrible 2-year-old who makes dirt and mess all the time. We need something a little bit more consistent, something that has a little bit of a mopping feature, unlike our poor little Roomba that's just not making it anymore. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed. All right, so our butcher block workbench is gonna start doing double duty in the next couple of videos. We're gonna use it for anything we're doing with the engraver, of course, but with the engraver being mostly lightweight mobile, we can just disconnect a couple cables real quick and move everything out of the way, which will then allow us to do unboxings and other stuff for the channel. Okay, so this is the TIKOM or TIKOM, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, the G8000 Pro robot vacuum cleaner. See right here, it says it has a mopping function. One of the reasons I got it was the mopping function. Another reason was because this one had one of the higher suction ratings, and I'll put that information up here on the screen, compared to some of its contemporaries that were more expensive. It also has Google Home and Amazon Alexa support. So we'll test that out and see how that works as well. As you can see here, it has 4500 PA super suction. Not sure how much of that we'll actually get, but there's also an app that will allow you to control it. Not as interested in that. One thing I didn't notice that some of its contemporaries do have would be like the LiDAR or any type of like GPS features that allow you to actually map out the space. But we'll get it going and see how it all works out. So that's actually kind of nice. There's a quick start guide on here. And you guys love these apps where we have to scan the QR code and do the basic setup. Probably won't even show you guys that because that's kind of old now. We do it on almost everything we do, but we'll go ahead and get it set up and just do some basic testing. Instruction manual. Here's the vac. Pretty good weight to it. Does come with quite a few accessories by comparison to the Roomba we got a while back. I'm gonna assume these feet, there's a green set and a red set. We'll dig into that, probably have different settings. Here's the mop pad. They give you an extra one and magnetic tape. I was wondering if I needed to purchase some of this, but that's pretty cool that it comes with this. So this magnetic tape will allow you to set up a barrier to prevent the robot vac from going any further for those of you who haven't already purchased or owned a robot vac in the past. Your remote, your filter, just for like dust and small particles, and then the charging brick that goes in the base. That's basically the entire setup here. So go ahead and get everything out of the bags. We'll probably do the magnetic tape a little later. Right now, we just want to get it charged and going so that we can get it set up for recording. Where's the bin? So this may be a bit of a problem. This looks kind of tiny. Actually, no, this is for the mop. So this isn't the dustbin. Oh, there we go. So there's your dustbin. It's still kind of small as compared to the Roomba that we have, but again, at that price point, beggars can't be choosers. Plus, if you're getting this for like an apartment or a rental, you probably don't need something super large. I would say, the larger ones are probably better for like if you're in your home or own it. Again, this is for us who are currently renting. So let's get all of this assembled and charging, and then I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so even though I said I wasn't gonna do this, I guess I am. Let's go ahead and run through this install real quick. You're gonna search for Tuya Smart from the App Store and just hit the install button. So while we're doing that, just a bit of housekeeping. The different little brushes, bristles, wings, whatever you want to call them, were actually identified as left and right on the bottom. So one goes on the left, one goes on the right. Start recharging. Put your vacuum on the floor before starting. Start charging. All right, let's go ahead and open the app. We're gonna do a quick sign up. Now we're just waiting on a quick little verification code. All right, now we set a password. All right, now you can choose if you want to do any of the app data collection. I mean, this is a touchy subject for everybody, so we're just going to skip that for now. We'll allow it to send notifications. Just make sure it's turned on. And we're going to select Add Device. Continue. So the QR barcode must be the one that's actually on here. Actually, hold up, let's see. All right, due to some technical difficulties on my Android device, we're gonna go ahead and run this on the iPad. So basically, there were two things that happened here. I needed to set up a separate 2.4 gigahertz network for the robot, which is good in general because I'm going to put the other IoT devices on there and kind of segregate them from the rest of the network. And two, I've been having a slight issue with Bluetooth selection on my Android device where it auto discovers. So sometimes I just switch to my iPad or an Apple device just to get past that, or just use another Android device. That's something I'm still working on in the background, but in the effort to get this video out, I just switched devices. And now since we already have an account, I just went ahead and switched devices, logged into that account, go back through pretty much the same process of trying to find the vacuum and let it connect to it via Bluetooth first, and then I can put in the Wi-Fi credentials to have the robot connect to the home Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi reset. Ready for easy mode connection. Start charging. All right, there's our device. Wi-Fi connection successful. All right, here we go. So we have a few options as it relates to cleaning. All right, so before we get started, we'll go ahead and look around in the app a little bit more before we let the device start cleaning. So you have settings for suction, water control, whether you want it to sweep and mop or sweep or just mop. There's language prompts. You can adjust the volume of the beep and the sounds on the robot. There's a carpet boost option. There's a remaining time for accessories. So that's going to be how much time you have left on like your filter or what have you before you need to either reset it or clean it. A couple of different run modes: smart, edge cleaning, spot clean, random. We're going to go ahead and run smart and just let it start cleaning around the house. So one thing to note here that actually I was slightly inaccurate about in the opening was that there's actually a mapping feature in the robot vacuum. It does actually map the home or the space that it's cleaning. I don't quite think it's like a true LiDAR system. It looks like it's more of like just an infrared locator, but it's still cool to have. So the fact that this robot has a lot of suction, be forewarned, it is pretty loud. And it's going to be loud until it goes back into like a low power mode when it's trying to dock, for example. Start charging. All right, so now we're gonna set this thing up for mopping. So you're gonna flip it over. Of course, take this little tank off the back, and then there's a fill port right here. And you actually don't put any solution in here. You're supposed to fill it up with just regular tap water. And you can kind of see the label here if we can get it in focus. There we go. And then after mopping, you're supposed to pour out the remaining water. So pretty straightforward. And then you have the mop attachment, which actually just clips into place on top of the tank. There's some little sensors in there. And on the app, it actually recognizes that you've connected the mop attachment. All right, so now here it is mopping. So there's a couple of things about mopping that I wanted to cover and show you guys. Of course, this isn't like a device that's sole purpose is mopping, so you're not going to get the biggest of tanks, but it does a great job for what you have. So I put a little baby gate around the carpet because the magnet rolls weren't, I'm assuming that they're not penetrating, the magnetic field is not penetrating the carpet to affect the sensors on the robot. So for now, just use the little baby gate. But you can kind of see, and this is on low water mode. So here we have one spot with it on low water mode that it didn't clean too well. So what I decided to do was just spray a little bit of my solution from the Swiffer mop on the floor, and then I'm going to go back and run the mop over it just to see how it handles. And this is just me in manual mode.
and the spot's gone. So, I mean, in a pinch, you could do something with hard spots also. All right, so final verdict. Although I don't think this is going to beat some of the more expensive robot vacs on the market, it does have some redeeming qualities, especially at the price point. For under $200, you're getting something with a high suction rate, although that does come with noise. You're also getting a robot vacuum that does mop, which some of its more expensive counterparts don't, including our older Roomba that we have. You're getting something that you don't have to worry about as much from a price standpoint if, say, your 2 year old kicks it, which actually happened. And it seems to be durable enough thus far, although we'll see how that goes. We'll also have to investigate how difficult it is to get parts for, etc., etc. But so far, again, for the price point, the fact that it actually does map the floor and kind of show you the paths that it's taken, the runtime, the the amount of water you have left in the tank, for example, the amount of charge you have left, and it does connect with Alexa and Google, which we didn't try. But the fact that it does that, you're getting a lot for under $200, especially in the robot vacuum market. So, in my opinion, it's worth giving a shot if this is your first robot vacuum and you just want something to clean an area. Again, at the price point, you could get two compared to some of its more expensive brethren, and you'd be surprised. Even though the dustbin on this thing is small, it is definitely mighty. It picked up quite a bit of trash here and there when I was experimenting with seeing how much trash it could actually pick up. So I give it a recommend. I'm not going to say it's a definitive go, but it definitely is something to check out if you got a couple of bucks that you don't mind sparing and you just need something to fill in on the days where you don't necessarily feel like sweeping or you have kids and you have to run something pretty much every day.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll see how this thing works out. And if there's enough interest, if you guys like and comment on the video, we'll do a follow-up just in case. See you guys on the next one. Later.